And that's weird coming from me, but I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you.
Great. This is you went down to Florida and you completely
Yeah.
changed.
So yeah,
I want
man.
to see where this goes.
I'm going to tell you only because we've done so many of these stories, right? I'll digress. I'll keep going. So they went up there this time, Enigmites, on purpose in October 1972. They were looking for these. They wanted it. They wanted an encounter, and so what they did was they went up to the first night, right? And these things did not disappoint. They started encountering the very high, strange vocalizations, right? That people call, affectionately samurai chatter, right? But this time the creatures actually encircled the camp, and they were staying just beyond the firelight in the tree line, which is not hard to do actually in the woods at night. And there was occasional rocks being chucked at their, little encampment there, I guess, Steve, right? Mm-hmm. Throughout the night. And so, Steve, this is not the first time we've heard about this. They're staying just on the edge of the light and humming rocks, right? That's not something to do, right? And that's common with a lot of Bigfoot stories as well. A lot of Bigfoot encounters, right? So the next day they get up, day 2, they go out and they explore. Again, not uncommon. We hear it a lot of times. They report large humanoid footprints, right? Again, kind of strike 3 for me right here, right? So so they record. They find large humanoid footprints again on the ground, but no sign of any other hunting parties or campers or anything like that, right? Night 2, Steve, on the October 1972, darkness falls, the vocalization returns, louder, more aggressive than the first night. Barry says he starts hearing large bipedal creatures walking around the shack. I almost called it shack. The shack they were in, or the cabin. Large, knocks on trees. But this is where it gets a little bit interesting. He says that, and you can actually hear it in the tape. I played it several times, man. You can hear a conversation taking place. One is talking to another. One is giving almost orders. I mean, like, Steve, what did it sound like to you, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it sounded like there was orders maybe, but yeah, it was definitely direct, conversation happening. It wasn't just like random howling. Like, it wasn't like they were just trying to scare the people. Yeah. They were communicating for sure.
Yeah, and if you do any, like, if you ever watch any shows when chimpanzees or monkeys get exaggerated, they just holler. They scream at it. This wasn't that. Like, this was definitely. I'm struggling for the vocabulary here, but it was a communication with intent is all that keeps coming. Yeah. Like they were like something was going on, right? There was intent in there, right? And also too, when you deal with intent, you deal with intellect, right? So that kind of goes on. At one point, the boys said that one of the creatures imitated their voice and mocked them in their own speech patterns, which kind of freaked Barry out. Mm-hmm. And the men decided to not fire any weapons, probably smart, or leave the camp. They stayed there, right? And then this is where I get a little bit conflicting reports. Some said they left the very next morning quickly down the mountain. Some said they stayed a few more days and it just died down. But some said that they, eventually just left on their own with several hours of tape. Steve, did you come across anything that says did they flee? Were they scared?
I'm not entirely sure, to be honest.
Yeah, I couldn't find anything on that, right? So that was the first incident, Steve. Now, before we go into the second one here, normally we don't do this. Let's take a pause. Give me your thoughts on that. Right?
I mean, it's you know me. I'm very skeptical when a lot of this happens, but the recording itself, it's pretty intense, especially for back then. I mean, it's not something they had like computers to sit there and make all this and it certainly sounds like it's more than just like, like weren't you guys like knocking on something and make it like this seems, I don't know. It definitely sounds like more than just two dudes making some random noise and making it up themselves. So that I'm kind of torn on this, because it's certainly it sounds pretty legit, whatever it is.
So I agree with you on that. But here's two things. The recording is Even if it's a fake, it's impressive.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what gets me, especially for 1972.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Like that. It's pretty. It sounds good.
It's impressive. But here's two things, right, that stuck in me when I read this. And and again, Enigmites, I'm not a downer. I'm really not a downer. Steve, am I a downer?
this is really I'm enjoying this.
I'm not a downer. I'm not a downer. But just hear me out. Okay. Where were the horses? Where were the horses? So
True.
You said you can only get here by horseback. You get up there, you get surrounded by these things, right? And no horses bolt. They're where are they at, right?
Well, even if they don't bolt, I hadn't thought about that. Even though you would think that they would be scared, and you would hear neighing, or you would hear the horse making sound. You'd hear hooves.
You don't hear it on the recording.
You don't hear anything.
You don't hear nothing. You don't hear it on the recording, right?
That's interesting. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah. So where were the horses? That's number one, right? Again, I'll even play devil's advocate. Did you get dropped off and the guide go back down? Okay, sure. The next day you see footprints, but where's the pictures? You humped all this. You're in a place that's so remote, and I'm guessing, man, it was those big 1970, freaking big, tape things that they would go around with like a microphone.
Yeah.
I mean, you humped all that up there, and nobody brought a camera, and so you didn't take any pictures of that, and you didn't take any photos.
Yeah, if you're going up there specifically for proof,
right?
You're not going to bring some sort of camera for visual proof.
Like I said, you didn't take a casting or anything, but again,
exactly.
I digress, man. I digress on that. All right. So anyway, but the recording is impressive. It's impressive recording. All right. So on that trip, also they had a guy who let's get this guy's name correctly, man. They had the October 1972. Alan Berry was there. He was a journalist, and so he didn't have a camera. Just hear me out, man. He didn't have a camera. He was just up there recording. Okay.
Subscribe now and turn on the notifications to join us on this extraordinary journey into the unknown.